Welcome, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here for today's explainer, where we're going to dive deep into a topic that literally affects every single one of us every single night, and that's sleep. We spend about a third of our entire lives in slumber, yet, so many of us just treat it like an afterthought. Well, today, we're going to demystify our nightly rest. We'll be exploring the incredible human biology behind a healthy lifestyle, and we'll take a really fascinating look into the world of biohacking and sleep technology. Let's get into it.
So we've all been there, right? It's 3 a.m., you're staring blankly at the ceiling, completely exhausted but utterly unable to drift off. It kind of forces you to ask this provocative question. Are you really resting, or are you just lying in the dark? Because getting adequate sleep is absolutely not a luxury. It's a fundamental, non-negotiable requirement for our bodies and minds to actually function at their best. Today, we're going to figure out what true restorative sleep actually looks like, and more importantly, how to get it.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for this explainer. We're going to cover 1. The science of restorative sleep, 2. Setting the sleep scene, 3. The sleep technology boom, and finally, 4. Knowing when to get help.
Let's jump right into Section 1, the science of restorative sleep, or, as I like to think of it, clocking in for the night shift.
I want you to completely reframe how you think about going to bed. Sleep isn't just your body turning off. Rather, it's your body clocking in for a crucial night shift of tissue repair, memory consolidation, and immune defense. Let's look at a typical 90-minute sleep cycle. We start with N1, which is just that brief transition from wakefulness with slow breathing. Then we descend into N2, a deeper light sleep, where you get these short, rapid bursts of brain activity called sleep spindles. Next up is N3, the deep, slow-wave sleep. This is where it's incredibly hard to wake someone up, and it's absolutely crucial for physical and mental restoration. And finally, we hit REM, or rapid eye movement sleep. This stage is just wild. Your brain becomes highly active, vivid dreams begin, and your body actually enters a state of temporary muscle paralysis, except for your diaphragm and your eyes, of course. It's an ingenious little mechanism that actually stops you from physically acting out your dreams. So across a full night, those non-REM stages make up about 75% of our time, while REM sleep accounts for the remaining 20 to 25%. But what's really important to know here is that as the night goes on and these 90-minute cycles repeat, the proportion of time you spend in that vivid, dream-heavy REM sleep actually increases, while your deep N3 sleep decreases. It's really fascinating to contrast how sleep is viewed across different cultures. Western biology tends to view this night shift pretty mechanically. Blood supply to your muscles increases for tissue growth, the immune system pumps out antibodies, and growth hormones get balanced. But traditional Chinese medicine, or TCM, offers this beautifully poetic perspective. In TCM, the heart houses the mind, and the liver houses the ethereal soul. During sleep, this soul can actually wander the spirit realm. So to keep it grounded and ensure restful sleep, you need a healthy, well-nourished liver. It's just a fantastic way to look at the deep interconnectedness of our physical and spiritual well-being. All right, moving on to Section 2, setting the sleep scene. This is all about building the foundation for slumber. Look, before we go out and buy a bunch of advanced gadgets to anchor our souls, we've got to master the basics. Your physical environment and your nightly routine send direct, powerful signals to your brain. Establishing a regular bedtime actually regulates the neurotransmitters for your sleep and wake modes. And yes, you really do need to shut off those screens, phones, computers, TVs, at least 30 minutes before bed. That blue light sends mixed, stimulating signals to your brain that totally mess with your rhythm. Try to keep the room dark, quiet, and cool, and maybe swap the doom scrolling for calming activities like reading or meditation. Having a dependable routine like this transitions your body perfectly from stimulation to rest.
Which brings us to Section 3, the sleep technology boom. Let's take a look at your new arsenal for optimization.
So if you've mastered your environment and you're still craving more data or just better rest, welcome to the future. The sheer, exciting volume of innovation available to track and enhance our time in bed right now is frankly staggering. Let's start with the tracking side of things. We've got amazing wearables like the Oura Ring, the Apple Watch, and Garmin. They use heart rate variability and movement to give you some really profound insights into your sleep stages. But hey, if you don't like wearing things to bed, under-mattress sensors like the Withings Sleep Analyzer use contactless pneumatic and sonar tech to track your breathing and movement right through the mattress. And you can sync all of this up with smartphone apps like Sleep Cycle or SnoreLab to turn those restless nights into incredibly actionable data. But tracking is really just the beginning. Let's see how technology can actively optimize your environment. Smart beds, like the 8 Sleep Pod or the Sleep Number 360, automatically adjust your mattress firmness and seamlessly regulate the temperature throughout the night just to maximize your deep sleep. You can easily integrate things like Dyson purifiers or a Nest thermostat for pristine air quality and climate control. And for your auditory environment, devices like the classic Marpac Dome white noise machine or Bose Sleep Buds completely mask disruptive background noise with customized soundscapes.
And then we have the active interventions. Smart headbands like Muse and Dream use actual EEG technology to monitor your brainwaves. They provide biofeedback to actively guide your brain into relaxation. You are literally hacking your descent into slumber. It's amazing. Then you've got smart masks like the Dreamlight Zen that integrate light therapy and soundscapes directly over your eyes. Plus, there are apps utilizing smart alarms that track your cycle and wake you up gently during a light sleep phase. So ideally, you never wake up feeling groggy again.
All right, on to section 4, knowing when to get help. Because sometimes you just have to call in the cavalry.
What happens when the tech, the routine, and that ideal cool environment just aren't enough? Well, sometimes you need to consult a well-being practitioner, like your GP, a sleep specialist, or a neurologist. When you do, they're probably going to discuss the pharmacological toolkit that's available to you. On the natural side, we've got things like melatonin, valerian root, and chamomile for some gentle relaxation. If you step up to over-the-counter aids, you'll often find antihistamines like diphenhydramine, which is what's in Benadryl, and they basically leverage their sedative side effects to make you drowsy. But if those fail, practitioners might turn to prescription aids like zolpidem, commonly known as Ambien, or orexin receptor antagonists like Belsemra. Now, I want to stress this heavily. Prescription sleep aids are incredibly powerful and should absolutely only be used under strict professional medical guidance.
Now, aside from regular insomnia, one of the most significant disruptors of restorative sleep is sleep apnea. This is a very specific condition characterized by interrupted breathing while you're asleep. It's usually a physical obstruction or a neurological hiccup that actually stops your airflow. Addressing it often requires collaborating with pulmonologists or ENT specialists, mainly because, if left unchecked, it severely impacts your cardiovascular health and your daily energy levels.
Thankfully, we have some incredible mechanical and therapeutic solutions for sleep apnea today. The gold standard is positive airway pressure therapy, like CPAP or BiPAP machines, which basically keep the airway open with a steady stream of air. Dentists can also provide mandibular advancement devices, or MADs, which subtly reposition your jaw. And for folks who primarily suffer from apnea or snoring only when sleeping on their backs, there are simple wearable positional belts like the Slumber Bump or Remity that use inflatable bladders to comfortably encourage you to sleep on your side.
And that brings us to the end of our journey today. We've explored the biological necessity of those 90-minute night shifts, the rigorous hygiene required to set the scene, the explosion of biofeedback and climate-controlled technology, and the serious medical interventions available when things go off track. At the end of the day, it all circles back to the harmony of mind and body. So I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought for tonight. Is your ethereal soul anchored for the night? Take control of your environment, leverage the right tools, and get the restorative sleep your body absolutely deserves. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and sleep well.